We will be starting in 5 minutes from now. Yeah, you're like Italian wine. Yes, question. Oh, so this is not an agenda point. Because you're not here. What the fuck am I here? Okay. Okay. Then we start 15.
Because of the gentleman who needs to give a speech, I had like 15 minutes. It's also very good topic. Yeah.
This is the speech.
Yeah. We don't have. Yeah. For now, I have a few lines that we but yeah, we don't have any.
Magazine, motion, podcast, question.
I mean, we have time.
Yes, because the motion needs question in itself. And then, I mean, after applicants.
Yeah. Do we ask? We have time. We can ask each applicant
Yeah.
questions for next
Yeah.
week.
We start in a minute. Please take your seats. You may know already, this is not GA, so you don't have to do this.
But it would have been helpful because there are a lot of questions. If I don't get all the questions, I have it here on the desktop, and then I can edit later.
Okay. But it's not like, let's say, it's not official.
Yeah, I know, but I want to help.
Oh, not ready, but ready.
Okay, please, some silence. Do you remember how this work? Raise your hand. Yes. No. The point is that when you raise the fist, you shut up. Yes, thank you. All right. Thank you, everyone, for the collaboration. We are starting. This will not be a GA session, this one. It will come later. This is the proposal slot for the regional distribution. And after that, we will have the last bit of GA for the day. Following, we will have training sessions. Now, regional distribution. Lucia, the stage is yours. Technical. Oh, can we give a microphone? Thank you, Lucia.
I kind of asked this during the first
Can
day.
you closer to the microphone?
I asked this question sort of on the first day when we made changes to the agenda for the GAs. You told me that the changes were going to be updated on the council meeting page, and they haven't.
Me?
I mean, I think it was Lucia. You told me. So if you scan the QR code right now, the changes haven't been updated. No. So I can't see like the agenda for the GAs, so could we fix that?
Can you answer in the microphone, Lucia, for everyone?
I'm just asking if she has the presenter's agenda. It's publicly also shared, that's updated fully, but I don't know why it didn't go on the website. I will check it then.
Okay, it's going to be sent to the WhatsApp group then. Thank you.
So welcome everyone to the proposal slot regarding the regional distribution, but also of course IRs, MRs, but I kind of severely doubt that will be a big topic today. First, I would like for us to once more introduce ourselves to you guys, for you to understand who are we, why are we standing here, and what relevance do we have to this topic. So if you haven't already noticed, I'm Lucia. I sit there because I'm the current admin, and I'm responsible for the member sphere, which include these people and some more entities, which I will now let them explain. Oh, and I'm from local group Zagreb.
Okay, hi everybody, my name is Veronica, I'm from LG Lappeenranta and I am the Nordic Regional Coordinator, so I am responsible for the Nordics, so Finland, Sweden, Norway, Estonia.
I'm Ale from LG Sevilla and I'm responsible of the Southwest region, that it's Spain, Portugal and Italy, basically.
Hi everyone, I'm Andrea Leotarescu from LG Târgu Mureș and I'm the Balkan RC. And I take care of 8 Balkan countries.
Hello, I'm Jelke Müller. I'm from LG Braunschweig, and I'm the Northeast Regional Coordinator. I hope you've seen us and know us. The region consists of Eastern Germany, Poland, and Ukraine.
Hello, I am Emir. I'm from LG Istanbul Yıldız and I'm the current Mediterranean Regional Coordinator and responsible for Turkey, Cyprus, Azerbaijan, and partially Russia.
Please don't make a lot of noise. My throat cannot keep up with that and I cannot go louder than that. So hi again everyone. I'm Schauke. I'm the current Northwest Regional Coordinator, which means I'm responsible for the local groups in the Netherlands, Belgium and Western Germany.
Hello, I'm Esther from Local Group Budapest. I'm the Alpine Regional Coordinator and I'm responsible for France, Austria, Hungary and partially Germany.
So yesterday we had the presentation that was kind of an introduction to regional distribution. Today we will go through everything that we didn't have time to go through yesterday, some more things generally, and then we would dedicate a lot of time to question time and also seeing if there are any concerns you want to share. So yeah. So I will go through the whole presentation so you kind of remind yourself what was already shown. But basically, again, regions were introduced in 2012. There hasn't been a big regional restructure since then. There has been only the two changes that we talked about yesterday, the fallout of the Baltic region, and this year the Mediterranean project, which switched a bit the Greek and Russian local groups. Again, to mention again that internal regulations of esteem say that regions are committees of the board, which means that the board is free to make the assortment of these local groups as they see fit. And the purpose of a region is to monitor local groups and support their growth and sustainability. So this is how it currently works. Why it works like this is because regions were created to ease up the workload of the Board of Esteem. We talked about this yesterday, and for that reason it is still considered a committee, but just one with maybe not classic team members. Well, team members, I think all of you would agree, are your LRs, but that's basically a bit of a different structure, but still a committee of the board. Current overview of the regions. I will go through this, but I'm sure you all have done your extensive research. Again, Alpine region with 10 local groups, Balkan with 13, Mediterranean with 10. You can see now the local groups, and the RCs told you the countries already. Then Nordic region, 13 local groups, Northwest 9, Northeast 11. Oh, okay, I didn't. Northeast 10. Southwest now 11. Yeah, I still love this GIF. Okay, so the work done, this is what we agreed upon. This was kind of the basis after doing online chats or workshops. This is what we agreed upon, and that's how we started then working on the specifics. And that's how the distribution also came to life. Esteemed College Members Forum, again, survey, online workshops, input gathered. I will go through it once more so you can remind yourselves. This is a form. These are answers from regional coordinators as a final clarification. So these were the identified struggles. I've heard no one specifically approached me, but I also hear things, so I would like to also clarify a very probable question. So the goal of this is not necessarily for local groups to support each other more. This is first and foremost a structural change to tackle diversity problems, disbalance, and many of the things that you also see listed here, because Central Esteem and Esteem in general has regions, and everything that's provided to regional events, when you look at it from kind of a from a specific baseline, regional events are Central Esteem, providing you a platform to collaborate and someone to facilitate this collaboration. Regional coordinators are representatives from Central Esteem. They work closely with the board, with their board responsible. So regional events are in their structure meant to gather local groups and to provide them with some learning materials, with some sessions, trainings, working groups to foster collaboration and communication between the local groups. Again, this is not just a structural shift, it is a strategic need for the future of Esteem, but we will talk about it later, specifically in the question time. Okay, so this is the QR code to the map once more. We will go through the map later after we just go through the local groups, because I would then just open the full map so we can move around and see what's going on there. Okay. So I will now explain what I yesterday really didn't have the time, and I also only managed to mention Darmstadt. But basically in the red region it consists mostly of current Northwest local groups. What was added is Darmstadt, because as I mentioned to you yesterday, the Northwest region is a region that works really well. Of course, they are lucky to be naturally, well, geographically close to each other, which of course makes traveling easier. And they do have 3 countries, and it's quite even a number of local groups balanced, but in the sense of activeness, not too much. So we decided to put a stronger German local group in order to increase this a bit more, so that is not mostly either Belgium or Dutch local groups, so it's also the German influence a bit stronger. For the purple region, it will be easier on a map. I already see this, but for the purple region, well, I will open also the second one. Yes. So purple and orange region. When we looked at local groups and countries, especially overrepresented countries, I think I can say that the few that are very active overall and have a lot of local groups are Turkey, Finland, Portugal, and Germany as well, but Germany has been split, so at least, you know, for those reasons, but of course Germany has a lot of local groups and many strong ones, yes. So why this split in this way? We were looking at how to split Portuguese local groups in order for not only to, in the future, accept more of them, but also for their overrepresentation in the region to be to not have a negative effect on the other local groups. Of course, in the current Southwest region, however similar they are culturally, they're still far away. So in some areas of Europe, it will always be difficult to find a solution that makes sense for the traveling, definitely. Eastern, northern, southern, and also western parts are kind of secluded. You know, Europe is shaped in a kind of a weird way. So it was a bit difficult to split it, and we were looking at this for a long time, and we were vertically splitting wouldn't work. So we kind of went with a kind of a diagonal one. When it came to Portugal, we looked at which local groups are in general maybe the strongest ones when it comes to the development stage, which are certainly Aveiro and Porto, and of course Minho. Minho, I'm not excluding you. Minho is also quite strong, but in general we decided to split them and then to see how to divide also the Spanish local groups. Because the Spanish local groups, there are in number, there's plenty of them in number, but maybe in the activeness not so much. Of course, IEM and by extension esteem in every country is also differently represented, and of course in some countries there is a bigger need and want for esteem, and some a bit less. All of those factors, of course, influence. That's why it is very difficult to make any kind of proposal on this topic. But we have decided to go with this, to split Portuguese local groups, again, to be able to, in the future, take more, to kind of lower the representation of them in the region, especially at events. And of course, when it came to them specifically, for these regions, I will talk a bit more. But for Portuguese local groups, we saw that their bond is already greater than a region, and they have national motivational weekends each year, and we thought that splitting them would not change that, because this proposal in general, it is not about limiting, it is not about dividing, it is in our opinion, providing more opportunities to engage with different local groups while still being able to connect with your own. You can see here the distribution. Now for the purple region, we decided to add more diversity when it came to, of course, countries, because in the current Southwest region, there are 3 countries, but they are quite far from each other, so we decided to put one that's a bit closer. Now, why France, and then why Kaiserslautern and Karlsruhe? The main reason for this is that Karlsruhe has an airport, Kaiserslautern is close to Karlsruhe, then Karlsruhe has good connections to via train to France, and via plane to some Spanish local groups. So we really, my point why I'm sharing this is that for many of these we considered, and we did some research on travel opportunities, so price tickets, affordable airline connections, and trying to see how to broaden it to incorporate more countries, more local groups, but still leaving the opportunity to travel either cheaply or at least not very, very long. So those were the reasons. Of course, in the purple region, we do aim to try and recruit more French local groups. Also, again, try to see if there's interest in Switzerland and those local groups. And many of the regions are split, and we did bring back the 8th region in order for us to leave room in every region for specific countries that this team would really like to target and get new local groups from. Because currently we are a bit unable to recruit someone if we do not have a place for them in the region that they would naturally fit into. So for the orange region, you can see which local groups we left. So it's Italy, a bit of Spain, a bit of Portugal, and now I know Zagreb. You're probably like, what? Why Zagreb? Well, Zagreb, I would say, Croatia in general, it's a specific case because we are both a marine and a continental country. And throughout history and everything, we had different influences. So I would say that, at least for Zagreb's case, I would see Zagreb in 3 different regions. We went, for the case of Zagreb here, we went for travel opportunities. Tickets from Zagreb to Italy, there's Ryanair, like 5 connections, and they're very cheap, 20, 30 euros most of the year. Same as with, for example, CM Seville, I went to the leaders gathering and I spent 20 euros to get from Zagreb to Cartagena. And then I went to a nearby local group where I spent at least 3 times the amount, for example. So for some of these, we did really go with travel opportunities. I saw a one, I don't know from who, yes?
Hi, I'm Tyon from LG Trondheim. I don't understand why you're talking about travel opportunities, because even though they're not in the same region, they can travel to other regions.
This is exactly what I want everyone here to leave the room with this opinion. Yes, traveling, there's instances in regions where local groups in the same region currently still have to take planes to go to events. But one of the concerns when we talked about with these people, with the local group representatives, with other leaders, with board members, previous board members, was that traveling and having either close by local groups around you or easy to travel to local groups does bring in more possibilities for more participants at regional events. So people are more likely to travel if it's either close by or cheap. So if we couldn't get the close by, we tried to get the cheap. Okay. Okay. So the black region currently. These are not official names, by the way. This is just what we left, but we will tell you what proposals we have for these names and everything that we would like to, prepare as also little bonding opportunities. In the black region and in the green region, I will show you. It's not on the same slide. No, okay. I will tell you later, but we have made a little change. I have spoken with Turkish local groups, and we had a little meeting the other day during free time, and they pointed out some change that they would like incorporated in this. And since they approached us, we had a meeting. It was Emir, myself, Adrian, and all the local groups that are here at this council meeting. What was proposed by them is to also split, so in this version that's currently posted and live, only Istanbul is split, and Izmir and Ankara are not, but they are in different regions. What was the proposal to us from Turkish local groups is that we split Izmir and Ankara local groups so that one Izmir and one Ankara go to one region and one Izmir and one Ankara stay in the other. So this is something that we will accept. So just so you know, that's the change that's not here. So what will be the change is that Ankara Bilkent and Izmir DU will go to the green region in this proposal, which is with more Balkan local groups. And in the black region, we will have Ankara Metu and Izmir Economy stay. And for the Istanbul local groups, we have then decided to stick with the local group Istanbul Bozici staying in the green region. So this is what we talked about, and this was the majority. We even did a little voting. So this is the only change that happened since they approached us. And of course, it's not a problem to make little changes. We are here to just make step forward when it comes to the structure and strategic development of a team. This is all something that can be agreed upon and talked about, and we have none of us have an issue with talking about this and finding a solution for local groups, specific local groups in question, if these concerns are brought with, of course, arguments and in a kind way, because we're all here to be first and foremost kind to each other. But the local groups here, okay, this is of course changed, now you know. So one Ankara will remain and one Izmir will join. We have then Baku, Famagusta, well, Minsk not anymore, Moscow, St. Petersburg, Sofia and Xanthi. For Xanthi, I would like to talk with the local group after this. We tried to schedule a chat before and I've heard conflicting opinions from the members, so I would like to revisit this after this session so we don't, you know, bother everyone here with one local group situation. So Xanthi, please, if you have time to talk today about it. Okay. Then in the yellow region, this was, to be honest, this was the region that was the easiest to create because we went with the approach also for travel opportunities and also kind of doing a little central part of Europe. Yes?
Sorry guys, I'm Veronica Dani from LG Budapest. I just wanted to say I don't know if it's just me, but it's bothering me that others are talking near me and I can't not focus on you. So please, guys, just stay quiet. I think that's an important topic, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Veronica. So please, guys, if you want to talk, maybe go in the back or something, or outside, or I don't know, go outside and watch the live stream, and then comment. I don't know, but thank you. That's a very good three. Definitely. So for these local groups, it was easy. We looked, for example, at Budapest. We looked at bus tickets, and Esther was kind enough to share with us that Budapest is very well connected with, I think, everything in Europe, but especially by bus to certain local groups. And we decided for this region to kind of make a circle and try to and still leave room for Czech Republic and Slovakia, because those are also countries that we would like to get local groups from, because we currently have none from these countries. So it was kind of like doing it like this, but still leaving room for potential new local groups from targeted countries. Then, of course, we talked and we put in local groups there. What? Oh, okay. Yes, and then you see also Novi Sad. Novi Sad, we will talk about it when it will be also the green region, but the split was mostly for some local groups in some countries. There's two very close by local groups that are very, very, very strong from the same region, from the same country, which we thought would be very good for other local groups. For that local group, those local groups in specific to experience more and get maybe a bit more into cultural and development opportunities, but also have a nice influence maybe on the other local groups and on other regions, because we do have quite a few local groups in Esteem, not only these specific ones like Novi Sad, Belgrade, Aveiro, but also, sorry, I'm a bit sick, but keeping them in the same region, we believe that it is to a degree causing a negative effect, and we do think that their potential could be shared more, and they could have maybe a bit a better experience in other regions as well, especially since in some situations there's two very close by local groups. Yes, yes.
It's done. Yanin Dalal, Novi Sad local group. Because you said that you want to use like the stronger local groups to influence the other local groups in the region, how do you think that influence is going to be done when, like, for example, Novi Sad is like a bit actually different, and like the CR and the finances are set up very differently compared to the German groups?
Thank you for the question. So in general, in these scenarios, this may be a controversial statement, but I personally don't think that local groups in Esteem help out each other, especially when it comes to this. So I don't think that happens currently even. But I think what in general Esteem could benefit from, and I think what's the biggest positive impact of strong local groups in the network is the spirit part, is the number of members, is the kind of role models. I think that's the most important part, because I don't see, if you have an example, please also share, but I've been the regional coordinator of the Balkan region and with that local group Novi Sad, and I cannot recall a specific situation, at least then, where either local group Belgrade or Novi Sad actively was maybe helping out with structural things, corporate relations, other local groups, and I think that's in many regions. From my experience as well, I know of very, very few examples where support was given from local group to local group when it wasn't, again, facilitated by central Esteem.
Okay, thank you.
Did I say? Yes, I think I did. Oh, yes. Krakow, if someone is wondering why, Krakow is very well connected by bus. To, for example, Budapest and other local groups. Okay, so then the Green Region. Okay, the Green Region, again, also in the Balkan Peninsula, there is a lot of smaller countries. So in general, however we split it, it was still a struggle to kind of not have too many, again, countries, because we do want all regions to have as many countries and have as many different local groups and kind of gain more. So this was also a bit of a struggle, because of course, naturally, many would fit, but then in the end, that wouldn't solve what we are trying to solve. So here, these are the local groups that that are in the Green Region. You can read them. Most of them are quite similar. Piraeus is still here, and we've added the Izmir economy, and well, now with the change that I told you, Ankara Bilkent. Why Izmir? Well, Izmir told us, and members from the local group Piraeus told us that there is very good.
Ekin Köse, İzmir DU. You said Izmir economy. İzmir DU is staying in green, not
Yes,
Izmir economy.
İzmir DU
Yes,
and Ankara
yes.
Bilkent. Yes. Thank you, Ekin. Yes, so we were told by members of both local groups in Izmir and also Piraeus that the connections via both are very nice, and that it's quite easy actually for Izmir students and steamers to travel to these cities, especially since, for example, as Ekin mentioned, Izmir DU that would like to very much stay in the Green Region by the new distribution, that they are a local group that does lean more towards international events and traveling more internationally. So all of these kind of made the decision. For Istanbul Bozici, also kind of similar reasons, also some exam schedules that kind of differ from the other Istanbul local groups, but Emir will surely tell you this later at the question time for these. Now we have the blue, if I can, okay, perfect. Now we have the blue and the pink region. When it came to the community that the regions have built amongst themselves, it was quite difficult to find a way to split up the Nordic region, and it wasn't a distribution that was taken lightly. It was with a lot of care and a lot of difficult moments, but we found this way. What Veronica always preached and very much highlighted is that if we split any country from the Nordic local groups, that we cannot just take one, because that is a big thing, the community part. So in all of these, when it came to countries, there is at least 2 that are staying together. When it came to, for example, Finnish local groups, it was quite important to separate a bit, because there is 5, and we are getting, I would say to a degree, often requests from Finnish local groups, potential new local groups, that we are just unable to fit somewhere. Because in general, I would say the Finnish local groups in the Nordic region currently are a bit more active than the other countries, and it's quite then difficult to accept new ones and also to tackle these representational problems. Let me see. Yes. So for why Lappeenranta and why Tampere and why, wait, which one am I missing? Tampere, Lappeenranta, and Helsinki. We looked at for these so stronger local groups, 2 stronger local groups to stay with the more north Finnish local groups that are a bit smaller and have more difficulties to travel, to have a bit more stronger Finnish influence with them, and then the strongest one to go with the kind of southern side. I don't know.
Yes, so we thought, yes, we had geography. We also thought a lot about, for example, Tampere and Lappeenranta and switching them around a few times, but we wanted to keep some of the stronger Finnish local groups also in the Nordic part, because generally the universities in the northern Finland are a bit smaller, which means also the IEMs are a bit smaller, and Lappeenranta is a bit more stable in being strong year after year, while Tampere is like also quite strong, but it's varying a lot more. So that's why we decided to do it that way, basically.
What Veronica said, yes. Okay, so we took a bit of Finland, a bit of Sweden in both of these, but of course then in the pink region we added some more local groups as well to kind of take a bit of those, also for the bit maybe still easy to travel, but also a bit of diversity and still keeping parts of it as a core. We had many versions of this, but we in the end agreed that this is from the possibilities the most optimal we can get. And of course, we would love to have more Nordic local groups, especially from Sweden, especially from Norway, especially from Estonia. Then the countries that we don't have, Lithuania and Latvia, those are ones that we would also love to have. But in the current way, even if we recruit them, they would have to go somewhere else where it would be where they would have less local groups to relate to than if we keep some that they could relate to in regions that they could potentially go to. This was a complicated sentence. I hope you understood me, but yes, we have a one.
Yes, hello, Atte from LXX Vaasa. I'm just asking because you mentioned that there is a lot of new LGs which would be interested to join the nowadays Nordic region and upcoming Pink and Blue. In not particularly having to like name those cities who are interested, but like would you see them either on the going to Pink or going to Blue about the ones which are at the moment interested?
A very good question, thank you. Well, of course it would depend on the city, and I think definitely the regional coordinator of that mandate would have a big say in this. But I think what I can say is the best answer that I can give you from this is you already asking in which of these the local group could go to is already a win. Because currently the answer would be nowhere, you know. So that's already a win for us to be able to have the luxury to ask, oh, in which of these they could go.
But like in the Nordic region, I would say it's so varies city by city what we're talking about that it's hard to give like an overall answer right now. But yeah, so it depends so much on the city, basically.
Oh, we have a 2 and a 1.
Pollster and local groups in Petersburg. Maybe it's like not the time to ask, but probably have you given any thoughts about the process of changing the region for one specific local group? For example, if they request this change, what would be the process like? And do you even like consider as a solution for regions to be like less stable, let's say, so for local groups to, I don't know, change places if they would like to?
That's a very good question. You also reminded me of this, but this is very good, very good. So why we are doing this, this does seem, I can understand this fully, that it does seem like a big change, which of course it is. Regions mean a lot to many people, but we are doing this change because this has been, this is a longer answer, so bear with me. Regions have been like this for the past 13 years, basically. So for the reasons we made the regions as they are, changed. So we are not in the same place, not even in the number of local groups, not even in the mindset, not even in the needs of the network of stakeholders. We're not even in the same position and the same mindset as we were when this was created. A big change is needed for us to be able to later adjust. We're not saying that this would immediately be perfect, but we are saying that this is a solution. Because this has been a problem and talked about for years and years and years. I will later show you some answers and some other data. But this has been going on and a topic of discussion for years. And what we are here proposing is at least a solution. Because in Esteem, there is a big struggle with accepting change, which is, again, it's normal, it's human, but every year, it's always like, okay, the next board will do it. The next generation of RCs will do it. The next this and this. And there's never a solution presented. So what we wanted to do this year is come to you all with a solution instead of complaints or raising problems or raising these proposals or binding someone X, Y to do something and something. We are here with a specific proposal, and to answer your question the most specifically, with this change, we will be able to then easier adjust which local groups could go where. And I think none of us think, not even people that are sitting there as well, no one thinks that it's a problem to, if needed, switch a local group or two. That's not an issue at all. But for us to be able to switch them up a bit here and there, we need to make a bigger change as a baseline for the smaller ones.
So like you haven't given any thoughts to like the process that would like be suggested, I don't know, like a Google form or something for a local group if you would like to switch. But thank you for your answer. So like basically you say that for us to switch local groups, we need like to propose these regions for them to be like places they can go.
I mean, the local group, like local groups currently as well always have the right to approach the board or the regional coordinator if they would like to switch a region. So I don't think that a specific process needs to be necessarily established. I think we're all human, we're all people. We can, just talk to each other. And if a local group is not happy where they are, Esteem does not want them to be unhappy. So this is, everything is a talking matter, yeah.
And there has been switches before. We are now proposing this with some local groups with some regions. And how that basically went is a lot of meetings with the regional coordinator and the local groups in question to come up with a solution that's like suitable for everybody. So just bringing up the topic and talking with the regional coordinator or the board. And like at the end of the day, everybody wants that like as many as people are happy. So that that is basically the answer, in my opinion.
Thank you.
Technical?
Should I even present myself? Say my name and local group? Or? Okay, Tina Mlinaric, LG Zagreb. I'm a little bit confused on the structure of this session. Are we going with questions throughout the whole presentation, or should we wait for the actual wording of the vote to then ask questions? Of the vote of intention, that is.
We will finish then the presentation, but remember your questions. Remember your questions. We will then finish the presentation and then we will discuss. So there isn't a specific, there isn't one reason why we're talking. There is only a few local groups that approached me since we have published this, and it's been a few weeks now. And I personally didn't know what to expect, because also since yesterday's presentation, no local groups really approached me with any questions. So I honestly, coming into this slot, I didn't also know what to expect. So what I think is, in general, presenting it, making it a bit more clear so that you understand the background, the reasonings, why this, and then afterwards, if specific local groups would like to, I don't know, propose, hey, could we go maybe there or something like this, then we can still settle it, because that's also the reason why we have the General Assembly right after this, to be able to see before the voting itself if there is anything that is detrimental for us to change and make sense. For example, like the Turkish local groups approached me. Let's just, yes, finish it up a bit. Okay, show this. Okay, this is just, okay, additional slides. Now, the local group assessment survey.
Lucia, sorry to interrupt you. Can we use the old tradition of waking up your neighbors? Just to be sure. Look to your left, look to your right, and if they're sleeping, ruin their dreams, please.
I didn't understand, but I now understand.
Now you do, yes.
I
so
was
please
confused.
Wake up your neighbors.
I was thinking he meant about, I don't know,
Lovely, thank you.
Serbian and Hungarian local groups, so I was a bit confused now. Okay, so the local group assessment survey or requirement email, however you want to call it, that's one of the requirements that local groups needs to answer to this email from the board. This time we included the regions and questions about local groups and the regional coordinators, blah, blah, blah. But I will now show you some answers that I have kind of took out from the form to show you that even so this form was filled out by local responsibles to show you that even you guys are aware of some of these struggles. Okay, so we have firstly, one of the local responsibles says that the Alps are a bit in their way. This was a bit interesting, but when it came to further away local groups, Alpine region is one of the better examples that maybe it's not as far. It's approximately 600 kilometers on average. By the way, this is a fun fact, but this is one of the answers. Then because of the political situation, from a certain LG, the members cannot travel to, or the Russian citizens can travel to events in that local group, and those local groups are currently in the same region. Then we have, in my opinion, diversity is the most important topic that should be improved in the Mediterranean region. I think some LGs that are in the same cities don't have to be in the same region, especially when you consider Istanbul. Number of local groups is too much for just one country, and especially within one city sometimes. Being all Turkish can affect the regional events and also how other regions perceive us. We should try to recruit more local groups in Norway. At the moment, the Nordic region is practically just Sweden and Finland. Estonia and Norway both have one local group, but they are not super active in regional events. It would be great to have more diversity within the region. Our region lacks some diversity because most of the groups are from Germany or Poland, and only Spain and Portugal. This local responsible was being, very, very motivated to elaborate, but yeah, I think we all understand what is meant. For Southwest, it's just very difficult to bring in diversity if we don't break it up a bit more. And I have just, okay, so this is just a little data overview of regional events. So the data is not ideal because it does count, for example, like in countries. So the blue one is the number of events held in that year, and the orange one is the number of present countries. But bear in mind that this is also not the most accurate representation, because at regional events there is almost always a board responsible, which is almost always as well not from that region. So that kind of affects the data as well, but this is for you to maybe see. Some, of course, regions have very regular and a lot of events per year. Some local groups don't have, for example, in the Southwest, there hasn't been an event in the past mandate, not this one. Good job, Ale. But in the year before, and then in some regions there is per year 5 events plus 1 billion informal events. So this is just also for you guys to see. So this is retention for regional events. I have some more specific data that I manually gathered, so I will tell you if there will be questions from specific regions and local groups. But for example, from 2021 to 2024, for example, in Southwest, there was 60 unique travelers, meaning in those years there was a total of 60 participants at regional events, all regional events, and only one of them attended again a regional event. So this is basically how that data translates. So you can see, so the people who attended more than one, meaning from the participants in total in those years, those who have attended more than one regional event. So you can see it's also quite, it differs not only in the number of unique travelers, but also people who attended more than one event. Now this is the total number of participants, and then also the number of people outside the region and percentage of those. The main point why I'm showing you this is that it's very possible to still attend regional events even if you are not from that region. Also, I think a pretty cool concept that I think should be in general, regardless of how this whole story about regional distribution goes. In general, I think joint events and joint activities between local groups who still share culture, at least by country, should be more encouraged. I think the more the merrier, and I think this is something that we should foster in Esteem. So yeah, okay, now we will do some questions. Prepare my little phone for data. Can you also tell, when you ask the question, can you also tell if you want the RC to answer, me to answer, or both me and the RC to answer? Yeah? Thank you. Let's hear a technical.
Hello, Adrian. Not really a technical, I'm very sorry, but can we please clap for Lucia for this very impressive presentation and explicitly describing everything that she did. Thank you, Lucia.
Rodrigo, delegate from Porto.
Yes, Rodrigo, LG Porto, LG Milano. There's no Giuseppe currently, but I have a few concerns / questions about the regional strength distribution and the workload of that the RCs will have to have. So if you could go back to the distribution of the different regions.
I will open the full map now. Just give me a second.
It's for whoever wants to answer, really. So my concern is that some of the regions seem pretty strong, while some of the others do not seem that strong, and I feel like they will need a lot of work from the RCs. As an example, for example, the Orange region, there are at least 5 cities without an airport. The distance between some of the local groups is huge. So you have Coimbra to Zagreb, for example. And additionally, you have 5 local groups. One is now dead, so 4 local groups with a very low member count or no members at all. So I feel like some of those regions will have a very high workload, and I am not sure about how the RCs will be able to handle that and if it's the right balance. So.
I would just give an example, and then I will go back to the map and let these guys answer as well. For the thing about the distance in Zagreb, okay, not only for Zagreb's example, money-wise it's not that bad, but for example, Cartagena to Minho, it's about 1,000 kilometers. It takes me 1,000 kilometers to get to Berlin, and I would have to go through 2 regions. So I wouldn't say that that's necessarily an indicator, because traveling from Cartagena to Minho is as difficult as me getting to, I don't know, Lula. Okay, maybe not Lula, but maybe Gothenburg. No, not Gothenburg. We also have good connections to Gothenburg. Let's do with Berlin. We will stick with Berlin. But I will let the RC.
Are you asking for my opinion, I guess? Okay. Yes, that's one of the main topical points that we discussed during the recon, because we didn't have that many LGs as I like it, and the ones who were missing were the important ones to speak about. And we focus on helping each other, like the proximity LGs. So in this case, it's just not going to be only for regions, because in this case, for example, I don't know, Porto can help Aveiro or Coimbra. That was, for example, the main topic of the recon. So it's true that we have a huge diversity in the region. There are really strong LGs and really not that strong LGs. So I think like between helping each other, it's going to be the only solution, I guess.
In the current state, we have comparably stronger and weaker regions as well. And I think not every regional coordinator has the same workload, even in the current state as well. But you have seen some indicators such as the number of countries, number of local groups in the region. With that being said, we really consider like for each local group how much active they are and how much active they can be in their new local groups. So in this case, this is why we separated like strict divisions for some local groups. So in this case, I would say this is even more balanced than the current ones.
Hello, I'm Victor from LG Krakow. I have a question regarding the presentation. I don't know if didn't have enough time to see, but on the
Can you be louder?
Okay. Do I have to say everything again?
Yeah.
Okay. On the presentation, I saw that most of the charts that were there were answered by 13 people. However, the last chart was answered by 5, and I have a question like, is the data disrupted because of it, or like was it supposed to be 5 only responders there?
So the first picture, except for the last picture, this was so the form was originally sent to these 7 people, and then later, for comparison, sent to previous 3 generations of RCs. But the answers for only one question quite differed, so I included then both. So there's two pictures of the same answers, but when it was just them, the answers were quite different, but I decided to still include it since it is kind of relevant. So then to compare how it is now and then.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Alexandra Simic, LG Belgrade. So first of all, thank you for this proposal and for your hard work that you've been doing. So in my opinion, this is something that needed to be done sooner or later. So thank you for this. And my question is, now that we have one less country, Belarus, would you consider having again a lot of Turkish influence in the Black region? Is that a concern? Or is that something easily solvable with this, for example, with Lithuanian or Latvian local groups that are potentially? I mean, yeah, Emir and maybe Lucia.
Okay, so we have...
João, please. João Mouche. Thank you.
Okay, so we have 7 Turkish local groups, and at some point we have to divide them 3 to 4. Actually, we thought about dividing them into 3 different regions, but logically, distance-wise, it didn't make sense, because at some point we need to send one Turkish local group to very far region, so it didn't make sense. At some point we need to separate them 3 to 4. While doing this, I mean, we made it as the separated Istanbul, Boğaziçi, and Izmir. Then we discussed how to redistribute the Turkish local groups as well to have the input. So according to that, we divided. But at some point, yeah, there has to be 4 Turkish local group in one region due to the current number of Turkish local groups in the network.
But do you think it's more solvable with this problem, given that it ranges from, let's say, from the south to the north? So more local groups from, for example, Baltic region, right now Baltics, can be added or not?
I wouldn't say completely solve this problem for sure, but in this case, I think it gets better than the previous situation. I mean, I think it's not really possible to solve this issue ever.
Thank you.
Ekin Köse, İzmir'deyu. My question is kind of like a follow-up question. It's about Black region too. Right now, because we lost Minsk, and there is Santi and Famagusta in the same place. If Santi asks for to be another region, that means it's gonna be one less country because of the political situation, and you can't move from Augusta, of course, because logically it's impossible, and you can't put in the green because we have Prius. How you can solve that problem? Like, do you have any idea how you can make a it's kind of hard question, but I don't know.
I mean, it's different because of the meta project, but I think I believe that there are a few key points to talk with local group Santhi, because according to some comments on Ilium, Balkan region is no longer Balkan region, and Mediterranean region is no longer Mediterranean region. So we had significant changes, and these are the things that needs to be talked with local group Santi. But in case of a claim for a transition, I think this needs a further investigation, and I can't give a concrete answer to you right now.
Okay, thank you.
When it comes to my side for this, in case local group Santhi does not want to stay where they are currently, we will find a solution to move them somewhere, definitely. But in general, so I talked with, I got input from some members, and originally when this was made, this was, yes, it's fine. So later then it was maybe not fine, but I scheduled a meeting with local group Santhi. I approached them as soon as I read the comments, we scheduled the meeting, but then they didn't show up to the meeting. So that's the reason I want to just kind of, if there are questions why I haven't talked with the local group, it's not because there was no attempt, but in general it was just not possible. So we then just moved it. Okay, at the council meeting we will discuss when this will be the topic. And maybe from Xanthi a direct comment.
I mean, showing up, Alex Marita, LXX, showing up, them not showing up was not true because they just told me, like the president told me that the original date was not, you know, like it was not convenient, but when the guys asked like when it was, you know, convenient for you guys to have a chat, then this question was never answered. But this is not my point. Like to be honest, this is not a subject that has to be talked inside of the GA. Like it's just one local group. This can be sorted out later on.
Okay, I would still like to comment because what is said is not how it was and it's not true, and I don't want my approach to a local group to be portrayed in a way that is not true. So I will give a comment and then we will talk with local group Xanthi, the current active members, definitely. So we discussed it on 21st of April, and I said, when do you suggest to have a call? The person said tomorrow. I said at what time? The person said 5 p.m. I asked if it's possible earlier. They said 11 is possible. We agreed on it. The regional coordinator and Fran, the board responsible, came to the meeting, and we were there for 40 minutes waiting. So that is simply not true. Emir, if you want.
Firstly, I agree with Alex. Like we shouldn't discuss on behalf of one local group, but I mean, throughout the week, like since the beginning of the council meeting, I've heard from a few local groups for there's a chance to switch to another local group. I think Paul, you also mentioned similar like this, like switching to another region. I want to make a comment overall. If there are local groups that wants to switch to another region, I think, of course, we want every local groups to feel satisfied and feel more than okay where they are in their regions as well. But I think this only doesn't depend on the wish itself, because if so, we need to like ask each local groups like, which region do you want to be inside? Then if so, I would love to like switch Istanbul Yıldız to Nordic because I love Nordic culture, but it doesn't really make sense at some point. This needs further investigation and reasonable things behind it. And if everything fits up, then yeah, transition can be done. But only the wish from my side is not completely enough to switch regions.
Is there very important direct comments? If not, then maybe we should take some delegates from maybe in the front. Okay, very quickly, please.
Hi, Tanya from LG Sofia. So regarding the Black region, obviously it's a kind of the most complicated one. So I want to point out that LG Sofia also approached Lucia, and the fact that we haven't had a conversation yet is a lot to do with also like a mix of factors, not just on Lucia but on me as well. But what I'm noticing is that like we do have logistical concerns when it comes to how easily we can get to the other LGs in that region. And furthermore, it's a concentration of a lot of remote local groups like Russia, Azerbaijan, and maybe putting all of them in the same place could lead to future problems and like kind of lack of participation in regional events, as well as basically if there are even more issues in that region, the diversity problem becomes even bigger, and kind of how would that be addressed, and at what point does diversity come before participation? I guess that's the question.
Maybe like a bit closer, and maybe if you can paraphrase the question.
Okay, sorry. So basically, we have a lot of the remote local groups in one region, that makes them hard to travel, and the pressure to organize regional events kind of falls on maybe like the most like Turkey and Bulgaria if we stay, because honestly most of these LGs are really difficult for us to travel to, and I would love to talk about it later, like it's not Lucia's fault that we haven't yet, but if there are even more discourses in that region, how would that be addressed? Is there a situation in which diversity comes before the wish of individual local groups?
Well, not a specific answer maybe to these specific local groups, but I think it is very hard to discuss a potential problem that may occur in the future, like with the new regions. Like, it is clear that some change needs to be done, and I think it is good to try with maybe like this one that we have proposed, and then see if it's not working, then to do like changes with what local groups think. But like if there is discourse, then we can like discuss that as it happens, I think.
Adrian Bösel, local group Munich. This is a direct comment to what you just said, Veronica. You said it has become clear that a change needs to be done. And I feel this entire presentation is built on, trying to find a foundation in one very weak claim. That is exactly that. If I look at the Ilium post and I read it, it's a claim supported by a claim supported by the claim. It's not really an argument of real insight, real data. Many of these things sound a bit more like a guess. And I do want to raise the question if these problems that you are proposing here are actual problems. Starting with a disbalance. I can always find dimensions by which something is balanced and something is disbalanced. For example, another balance that I can find in the current regions is cultural cohesion, which is probably one of the strongest factors in a region itself. What I see here is like many things that seem to be a bit of a constructed thing. Why is lack of diversity by countries a problem? It is not really explained fully. Why is disbalance of activity a problem and can be solved through that? I don't think that is really becoming clear, and if you want a vote that is informed by the people here, then I think you should make it clearer.
What was the specific questions that you want the answer to? If it is in my opinion, it has become clear that there is a need for a change, and that's because most of the regional coordinators talk with the local groups, and for us it's quite clear. Not all information is only through data that is by numbers. But was there another question?
It was not a question, rather the reminder of just because it is clear to you, it makes the overall point look very, very weak. If you keep saying it has become clear, but never really explain why that is clear to a point that I can see a logical chain of thought, an argument that is built on more than just this is like this, okay, and it's a problem, then nothing has become clear to the outsider. I know that you're deep inside this, but me personally, I cannot really follow your arguments in most points.
Yeah, if I can quickly comment on that, I think that's a very fair point. However, I think then we can maybe drag back to another point that was said here before when it comes to mentioning specific incidents and specific local groups. No one, as Veronica said, these things are not all represented in the hardest of data. These things are sometimes represented in experiences that have been shared over RCs and like anecdotes, more or less. In that sense, they are qualitative data. If you want to then share that to the network, then I think you again come at the risk of sharing too much from a personal local group, where then that personal incident or something will become more the subject of the discussion rather than the overall structural problem that it resolves, because at the end of the day, no one can know everything. So I think, I get your point, but at the same time, that is also why it is harder to maybe make it as clear when you are not in the same role, in the same position. So yeah, just to keep it also, keeping that in mind, that it is not 100% possible to make everything clear, as you said.
Rodrigo Bastos, Porto LG Milan. I think I need a clarification and the council as well of what exactly is being voted here, because this is a vote of intention. So it's not binding. It does not mean that necessarily anything of this is actually happening, right? So the regions that are being proposed right now, what do they actually mean? If the vote gets voted yes, what does it mean that will happen in the next mandate?
If this will be voted as a yes, if the majority, absolute majority will vote yes, then this is after council meeting Calabria how the regions will look like, and then there will start a transitional period and specific support, which the plan we would share then on Ilium and send to local groups and have way more work from the RCs to everyone. I have a slide, but it will be a hassle to open. But then would be a traditional period, and the next year it will be also plan changes with the current board and regional coordinators and the next generation to ensure the next year that a new normal kind of takes place. But from Calabria until end of the mandate, this will become the new version of the regions, and of course it will take time for things to settle, but we don't see that as an issue. But from that point onwards, it will be applied, but of course with consideration that it will take time to adjust.
Okay, just to further clarify, you can also do this without a vote of intention, right?
Yes, we can do it now. Say that it's like that it will be like this and it can be like this. Yes.
If the vote gets voted no, you won't, right?
No.
Okay.
Can I get a clarification?
A very quick clarification,
Yes.
then I think delegates in the front.
Yes, Ekin Köse İzmir DU. So the thing is, we accept the proposal and we did it, then we saw it's not working. We can change it again, right? We are not stuck with this one, so we can try, right?
Yes, everything can be
perfect.
rechanged, of course.
Yes, amazing, thank you.
Okay, I think one in the
I
front.
would just like to, sorry, Veronica. I
Go,
would just
go.
like to say this is proposed so that the majority of people, so that we see what the majority thinks, so that we present it to the majority of people, so that people are included in this. And yes, why we didn't do like a one-on-one dialogue with each local group. It is very difficult to agree. Like even in a board of 6 people, it's sometimes difficult to agree on what to do. Talking with 79 local groups, where people change each year. So people in the local groups that are currently active change. Everything changes, so why don't our regions change too? That's the main question that we're going with. From the start, this has been how it was, and a change needs to happen, some fresh start needs to be made, and I wanted to clarify and mention in general that esteemers are on average active in esteem 2 to 3 years. Esteemers that you will recruit in your local groups in September will not know how it was now. So think of it in a sense that change is maybe a great deal of pain maybe in the moment, but with time it heals, you get used to it, and you find new traditions, you build new connections, and you get to know more people in this network.
Tina Mlinaric, LG Zagreb. So concerning that comment to that, so the people who you have been talking now from Turkey, they will also be changing in a year or 2 or 3. So in this part, I don't think that that's concretely something that should be avoided talking to LGs, maybe not one-on-one, but like concretely with countries. And I'm actually surprised because like this is a lot of amazing work, but what is missing here in the background is actually the opinions of the local groups. You're not gonna satisfy everyone knows that. But also our Cs are representative, that's all clear. But again, there is data missing from the opinions of the LGs themselves. If there was a form in the LGSS form, a question where you would have qualitative data where you can present to the LGs, look, in the majority, this is majority of people think that there needs to be changes.
Yes. I mean, I don't have much to say to this. I can just say that if you recall when we did ask for opinions on how to do this, and it was clear that our board wanted to do this even since before the official start of our mandate, and we even asked your board, and we were just advised not to do it for the workload, so I just wish these suggestions came sooner.
sorry, just one little technical. We would have to start with the next point when it's 15:23 to be on time. We already added some time to this, but until 23, you have 9 more minutes from now.
Okay,
I have a comment in general. Can you hear me? Yeah. I have a comment in general about all these discussions. Here is a lot of opinions of LGs, a lot of opinions of personal thing. I'm the only one in the world who is responsible of 2 regions. I've never attended one event of my region, but this year I attended 2 regions, 2 events in 2 different regions that they have a different culture. For me, it was the first time that I attended these regions, and it felt like home in both of them. And this change are not done by feelings and by culture. It's done only by management of a central team, how we manage the regions and the local groups. Then STEAM is not regions, it's steamers, it's how you feel when you go to an event. Think about it, here is a STEAM spirit. This is not regional spirit.
Please, very quick comment, then I say next delegates in the front. Very quick comment, please.
Okay, Alex Marita LXX. So my comment is, to make it quick. Do you think that this topic should have been more actively and openly communicated to the network so that the change would be easier to accept and adapt to it? Because as far as I understand, you have been working on this for 4 to 5 months, right? And you only asked for the opinions of, let's say, ex-boardies, LRs, and some RCs. So do you think that this should have been more communicated to anyone?
I mean, I think many arguments can be thrown back and forth. I think for the same problem, you can see both perspectives. And I think in general, I think quite a bit of people were included. And I think it was quite surprising even to me that so many people agreed on this and went forward with this. In general, when it came to including people, the same way you would say it's important because people change, the same way I can say, yeah, because people change, how does it make sense? I think since regions do come from central esteem, I think central esteem should have a say and be the ones that propose, hey, local groups, maybe let's do this. So I do think that's an approach that is the most efficient. And of course, if this is not welcome, then we will not do it. But we did this, and we do believe in it and how we did it. So,
yes, and I would like to add, like I think also in the Ilium post, like a suggestion was shared, and in the comments there was a lot of good conversation about the situation, and one change, like because it was suggested from the local groups in question. I think like there needs to be a first idea to be shared so it can be discussed. Otherwise, it's not efficient and it's not. You won't come to a conclusion, in my opinion.
but could we hear for the questions remaining from the people that are currently active and travel to events, maybe like Eindhoven, Tallinn, Novi Sad as well? Yes, but yeah, that side a bit as well.
She was
from
talking
like
about
delegates,
her.
kind of.
Go.
Okay, Jelena Lakic, LG Novi Sad. My question is specifically to Lucia, and if some of the RCs want to answer, they can as well. You mentioned before about the travel, so my question is about the cost of travel, because some of the local groups now are very far away geographically. You said that can be, I mean, some travel costs are lower, even if it's further away. But like, for example, RLG Novi Sad and LGs in Germany, it's very, very expensive for us. And it's the cost of living, economical like differences. It's, I don't know, we just have concerns how you're gonna make regional events accessible and inclusive for all the steamers from the region.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you for your question. So we do believe that the current situation in most of the regions when it comes to like attendance of events, it's not ideal. But I have a question for all of you here. So a raise of hands, okay? How many of you primarily travel to regional events instead of esteem events in general? My point why I'm asking this question is that I think the smallest number of people, the smallest group of people, the target when attending events are regional events. I think that's the thing, and I think esteemers, when they do decide to go to a regional event, I think the reasons do surpass the availabilities to travel. I had one more question. So I cannot recall the question, but can you do it too? I have to.
About your raise of hands, I think mostly in our LG especially, most people that travel to regional events won't come to the CM, so you won't see that. you won't see that example. But many people from our LG would rather go to a regional event that's in Niš, Belgrade, Romania, because it's closer, and they won't come to CM in Italy. So you can see that example.
For the case of local group Novi Sad, if I look at the past 3 regional events organized in the region, I would say that there have not been more than 4 Novi Sad travelers, if I recall correctly. There has been, I think, 2 now at the Recom. The one before in Belgrade, there weren't any. The one before in Sofia that I organized, there weren't any.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Henry Kalvik, LG Tallinn. Question / kind idea are there any possible new LGs in the Baltics, like Latvia and Lithuania? And if there might be, maybe kind of the distribution idea of having Finland and the Baltics, and then having Sweden and Norway, and a possible LG in Denmark, for example. Because then it's still kind of close by. I'm not going to say culture because it would make some people angry, but it's kind of close by, and it's easier to go, and still kind of having that camaraderie in there. Because right now, at least this vision, it's really hard to see that the closest, excluding Tampere and Helsinki, the closest LG is like 3 countries away, which might be, with traveling again, can become quite expensive and quite difficult. And also for us, it's easier to promote to our students that it's a lot cheaper to travel nearby countries, get your experience, because we do have students go to study outside, but a lot of them are in our kind of region, and it has been easier for them to already know the people, know the culture, know the way of studying, and especially with like Estonia and Finland, our studying culture is similar, and it's a lot easier for us to talk about it and have discussions about it compared to like Estonia and Germany. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you for your question. Actually, I think that's an amazing suggestion. I have not, like, I don't have anything specific to add, but I think that would be amazing. But of course, in general, like, even with like companies, it's so much easier to keep an existing client than to sign a new one. So getting local groups from there, it will, will be a long-term process. But I think once this will exist, and I really do hope it will. I think Esteem is and will always make effort to do so. I think that would be a possible, very, very possible change, and I do think it would make very much sense.
Yeah.
So I think this is just something that we will pass on. So
Yeah.
Honestly, excellent idea. Yeah.
And maybe to add, like, agreed. Maybe it hasn't been like thought that deeply if there could be possibilities, for example, in Lithuania and Latvia, because there's no room in our region to grow more. But if there is, then approaching, of course, different countries and local groups is a whole different thing, for sure. Technical.
I have a technical. I want to raise the motion to extend the question time because I don't think we are getting somewhere right now. It's not enough, I think.
I think that's a good idea.
While you
10
continue
minutes. 10 more
continue with the
minutes.
questions for now, and in the meanwhile we saw if it makes sense. If by the end we are satisfied, it's not needed.
Okay.
I think RCs are thinking the same, so I think we should raise a motion right now for 10 more minutes.
Sorry,
Okay.
people, just to clarify, a motion is needed when we don't want to make it and you want to kind of force us. It's not needed right now. We are letting you have your questions, so enjoy in the meanwhile.
Yes, so next question. Sorry, Fran. I'm sorry.
About the ideas, very good. Last year, as former MC leader, that I was very involved in approaching. I have to tell you about creating new local groups in new countries. It's a very, very difficult situation because we don't have any contacts. It's so difficult to approach someone in a new country that they don't know what is Steam. It's way easier when there is already one LG that could be similar. So could be the case, but we tried with Riga, Lithuania. We had 2 LGs some time ago. Also, the alumni are not there. Denmark, we also try also this year with, but it's so difficult in new countries. So good idea, but the implementation should be in a long term because it's difficult. That's that comment.
Go ahead.
Thomas de Vouw, LG Eindhoven. I think that it is good that we are looking for a change in the redistribution of the regions, but why is the approach, or why this approach? So now everything is discussed with the regional coordinators. I think that's good for a step, but why are we now talking about this on the council meeting and not, for example, with all the LRs? Because in my idea, for example, those are the most important people.
I mean, I can. Well, what I can say is that this was wrong button. This was all posted earlier on, with, of course, the intention of local groups approaching us and having a conversation. Now, if we could have done maybe an online meeting, that also maybe could have had sense as well, but we allocated early enough time when we were planning to have proposal slots in general. We allocated time to talk about it at the council meeting because, okay, this is now going into a different issue regarding council meetings, but mostly local groups do send newbies who maybe do not know as much about this theme, and we wanted to ensure that when you will be here now voting for these topics, because we do consider this a big topic as well, that at least we would be sure that you will at least learn about it and understand it and see it fully, at least here, because you know, in general in meetings and when LRs I don't know approached or maybe asked for a meeting, not always they don't always also show up. So we were looking at, okay, how to utilize the most so we're sure that at the voting time, at least the people voting this moment will be able to pass it on to their local group and be aware of what they're voting upon. But yeah, of course, a chat also could have been held. Of course, I don't know.
And if I can add, in my opinion, I don't see a good way of, an easy way to do it with like all the, for example, local responsibles in a meeting, because if you have it within one region, like a current region, changes in that affects the other region, and then it becomes like a domino effect that everything affects everything. So the option is to have everybody, and that would not work as there are too many people in the meeting. Or then to have, for example, for Nordics, this is what we want, and then we talk with another region, oh, this is not what we want, let's go back to this one, and then it doesn't, it's not really that efficient, in my opinion.
I would like to just say from my region, it was posted on the 17th of April. I had my scheduled bi-monthly meeting with the LRs, not important. When I always talk with them, 3 LRs showed up for those meetings. When it was already posted, what can be discussed if they are not there?
Actually, sorry, can I have just a technical? Since you asked for 10 minutes, we managed to add 8 without any motion, so I hope this is enough. There are 5 left of those. The time ends at 33, then we need to move on.
Just Hannes, very quick, one sentence.
I would also like to add that there were opportunities before, not just on Ilium, but also in the chat. We had the board open office hours to talk about the proposals, where only limited amount of people showed up, even though it was promoted as exactly this opportunity to talk about a proposal, give your opinion, and additionally the topic was part of the Esteem College, which was also promoted as an event where online participation is encouraged and everyone could share their opinion on exactly this topic, the regional redistribution, which was one of the sessions there, and I think there were also a few people that participated.
A members forum was also offered hybrid on the Esteem portal when it happened, and most of the people also joined hybrid.
Yeah, in addition to that, it is kind of also depend on the local responsible to approach, since all of these things happened, and the post is posted 22 days. Like one of my alarms called me 6 times at 3 a.m. right after this posted.
Please, very quick, please.
Yes, yeah, very quick. It's a technical, basically. Will we vote on this tonight at the voting session or in the third voting session? Can you please-
Tonight. It's scheduled for tonight.
Okay, so Diana LG Belgrade. I just need to ask clarification from Andrea or Lucia, whatever. So for the green region, what was the criteria exactly to form that? Because we are not really sure why did you pick, like, from every country some of the local groups?
To which slide?
The idea was like we needed to divide somehow the Balkans, so this was the best way we could manage, at least.
Okay, so for some of the neighboring regions, it was they were in need of country diversity. The Balkan region in general, if we kept it compact, the region itself already has a lot of smaller countries, which some of them also have a lot of local groups. And then we were looking at how to do it. We also looked at some maybe culture similarities, closeness in general, but we went with this. For Novi Sad and Belgrade specifically, it was mostly to separate, I would say, arguably one of the 5 strongest local groups in the network. For the others, we kept them together as much as possible for the closeness, because in general, for example, Romania as well, it's a big country and some of the local groups are not too well connected to also anywhere, so then we kept them there. The neighboring regions, yeah, divided in between the two. Okay.
I think that was a sufficient answer. Maybe you go.
One last
quickly,
comment.
please.
Thomas Vouw, LG Eindhoven. One last comment for me. I think because we saw all the stats in the slides from the regional coordinators, I think it would have been good to share that with all the LRs, or maybe you can still do that to get some more insights possible.
Can I just say why it wasn't done? Because I don't mean it in any negative way, but local responsibles only know local group, their own local group. And this is a change that's needed on a network, on a network-wide, I don't know, on a level of the whole network. That was the main reason, to be honest.
The time allocated for this should be over.
Can we have more time?
I mean, at one point we will be kicked out, then there are the training sessions which are already scheduled. I don't know where more to mine for more time.
I don't want to discriminate against the local Porto delegate, but that's the third question. So if we have more questions, can we do the people who haven't asked anything and then come back to Rodrigo? If we have more time, if not, then I don't know what to do.
It's a second.
Maybe Sigurd in the back has been waiting for a long time. No? Okay, delegate in the front. Yes.
Sorry, I've been let know that there is no time because there are also for the working groups and training sessions some professors that have, made some efforts to be there on time. I know you'd like to discuss it, but if you could find another way, use Google Chat and make sure to check it. Leaders, regional coordinators, Lucia, check the chat, answer. I think this would be the best so that everyone in the end gets what they need. So answers, understanding, and being on time for the people we invited to give us some sessions as well.
At the break, please come and find me. I've been waiting for someone to approach me this whole CM, so approach me, please, freely. Yay. So.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for the questions. Thank you for the explanation of the proposal. Thanks, everyone, for the collaboration. You can take your seat. Thank you very much, RCs. Thank you, Lucia. Now we move on. We move on. Yes. So we move on. We have a motion The motion is supported by the LGs of Kiev, Aveiro, Tallinn, Zagreb, Gdansk, Graz, Istanbul, Boğaziçi, Budapest, and Kaiserslautern. To present it, I'd like to call Vlad and Maria from LG Kiev. Vlad, 5 minutes, counter in front.
Hi, not to lose time, I'm Maria from local group Kyiv, living currently in Aachen.
Yeah, I'm Vlad, local group Aveiro.
And today we want to present you a motion, suspension of esteem offline events in Russia and temporary exemption for LG Moscow and then LG St. Petersburg. Exactly. So a short introduction. In 2022, there was a full-scale invasion launched by Russia against Ukraine. It's still ongoing, and back then at the CM in 2022, there was a temporary solution proposed because LG Kyiv and LGs in Russia cannot organize offline events. There was a temporary solution proposed to overrule the membership regulations on organizing one offline event in a year's span. However, we do believe that this solution is not corresponding to the current state of the problem in question, since the reasons why these LGs cannot organize an offline event are very different. So we are proposing a solution. Just like a quick, of course, in Ukraine there's a full-scale war launched by Russia against Ukraine. Just a quick insight what it means for Kyiv, why it is not safe to have an event in Kyiv right now. This is just a screenshot from the official Kyiv municipality website. These are the air alarms just for the last week. You see there's a lot. The last biggest strike on Kyiv was 2 weeks ago, resulting in 13 casualties and over 90 people injured.
Yeah, and let's certainly take a look through the why Steam cannot organize offline event in Russia at this moment. So first of all, like since most of the people that are sitting here, we are citizens of European Union, and the official European Union policy and most of these member states advised all the citizens against traveling to Russia. At the same moment, inside Russia, most of the countries that we belong are listed as unfriendly countries. There is official list of Russian government that includes those countries, which also will mean that, like in case of something happening with the steamer in Russia, the governments, that our national governments will have very little possibility to have some help, to provide some help to that person. And also, as you know, that like Russian Federation is under possible military mobilization laws, which can result in sudden like exit bans or border closures. That is one of the reasons. The second reason, if we think about that, like, okay, we have event in Russia, which means that we promote spending of money there, like we need people to come and pay visa fee. If you look at this slide, like let's say we have event for 15 people, they pay 100, let's say, those are pure estimations, 100 euros participation fee, they spend like 150 more, 10 of them need visa, they pay this money, then value added tax in Russia is 20%, so when you do the math, you have like 750 euros out of the money spent by the participants of the event that are going directly to the Russian budget in form of value-added tax. Then you have visa fee for 500 euros. And by estimations, the percentage of Russian budget that is dedicated to the military purposes is around 30%. So basically, that's a pure donation to Russian military. And I hate to say this, but our standpoint here that is just morally unacceptable. That is why we proceeded with creation of this motion.
Yes. So basically, as for now, the decision of disapproval or approval of offline events in Russia is completely decided by the board, and it is a completely internal process. Therefore, it really lacks the transparency because the council has literally no direct influence on the decision and is completely decided by the board internally. What will improve with the motion that we're proposing is that it establishes a clear and official position, and yeah, I mean, you can read it, we have no time, so we have to...
Yeah, I'm going to present you the motion. So basically what we suggest to bind the board for 3 years of not improving any offline event listed in the Steam event agenda taking place within territory of Russia. In case if local group organized event without approval of the board, it shall be proposed for exclusion. At the same moment, the requirements of membership regulations for which we are voting every CM for overruling them will not be imposed on local group Moscow and local group St. Petersburg while motion is active. The duration of this motion is 3 years. Basically, on the next slide, listed if proposed, it's going to be accepted that.
Vlad, just slow down because I think it's important they understand it. I'll give you
Okay.
1 more minute.
Yeah, I will. Okay. So if that is accepted, that they will not have to organize event. In case if they organize event without approval, they will be proposed for exclusion. Organizing, the duration of the motion is for 3 years. The point is that we want that, initially we wanted to be it without timeline, but after consulting with the board, we decided to pose some time frame on it. Anyway, if situation suddenly improves, the Russian local groups or any other local group can ask the council for the revoking of the motion, and this will not apply anymore. What this motion do not restrict members of organizing online events, the local group Moscow, local group St. Petersburg, do not restrict organizing offline event outside of territory of Russia, for example in Turkey, in Georgia, in Azerbaijan, whatever country, just not Russia, does not restrict them traveling to other events. There is no restrictions for members of Russian local groups. There is absolutely nothing against them in that standpoint. Let's make some clarification what is considered as the violation of this restriction. If they organize offline event that is using a Steam name, logo or branded materials and requires people to come from other countries, refer to Steam services like Activity Week, Exchange, etc. and advertised as a Steam event, that is the reason to be proposed for the exclusion.
Yes, so basically the voting about this motion will be closed and it's going to happen today in the evening. Yes.
Yep, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we have a short statement.
Very quick interlude, as we had quite a lot of intense things in here. I want to make it quickly a bit more light and ask, did every local group got magazines? There should be 1 magazine per local group. If you didn't, could you please raise your hand? We have the wonderful magazine leader, which can bring one to you. Only you. Okay, then bring one here, one over there, and I think we're good.
Okay, thank you very much, Rob.
Bring it. So this is not for you personally. This is for your local group. So put it in your room. Share it with the other people when you come home. It's a great opportunity to promote in general. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please, for further discussion, talk with who's responsible of the magazine. Done. I cannot count your fingers up there. You're dancing. Just tell me if it's a technical. No. Okay. Very good. Then what Rob really wanted to say is I open agenda point 44, promotion on Steam socials media, and I invite to the stage Robert and Etu.
All right. Is the presentation? Can we get a presentation on the slide, please? Oh, sorry.
It seems today we are a bit confused. It was a nice party yesterday.
All right, perfect. Yes, it worked. Promotion on Steam social media. Hi, I'm Rob, and that is...
Hello, I'm Edu.
So yeah, I'm the VP of Public Relations, so as PRC leader, he's kind of my right hand during this mandate. And we'll just be talking about what do we do on our social media, and how can you get stuff on there. So just first the question, what do we even have? We have Instagram, that is our biggest channel. If you should follow it, I'll come in a second. However, we also have LinkedIn, which we mostly use for professional side and especially for companies and to share the more professional side of Esteem. Then we have that Facebook page that still has a lot of followers from the old age, but basically doesn't see any engagement. So we don't focus it. However, we have some posts from Instagram who automatically get posted there. And we also have a YouTube where we upload videos from time to time and also have the live stream that some people might be watching right now, wherever. But the most important and the one you should absolutely follow is Instagram. So if you for some reason didn't already, please get your phone out, scan this. I got a bit of a private thought together with the wonderful delegate of AEG in there. So yeah, please follow us again, beat AEG. Tell your friends to follow us. Definitely tell your local groups to follow Esteem Official. Especially when we're talking about board open hours, etc., etc. That could also be important for your local group. That could be interesting for you. It's all getting posted on there. Please follow it. Please tell other people to follow it. Amazing.
Okay, thank you. So let's go back here for a while. So we are now leading, I'd say, about maybe 20 followers that I last time looked at. So please follow it if you do not do so already. But yeah, let's continue. So quickly, let's go through what content do we actually have there on our Instagram page, or on our all of these two most important platforms, Instagram and LinkedIn. So first, of course, we can have some posts promoting some events on Instagram, but if it is a post, it should be focused on what the event, the concept is actually about, so that it's valuable for as many people as possible. Then we can also have some other videos or reels that are basically made usually using some content from LXX as well. And we can also have some occasional advocacy from some important events that we think are worth sharing there. And on the stories, we can have basically stories for any event, and that's maybe the most important thing that you as LCs can have there on the Instagram page. So that's, yeah, I will speed up a bit. Yes, and also we can have some other stories, but also we can share also some LC stories, so that can be also part of event promotions. So example from Tampere. And on LinkedIn, we can have more professional content, and yeah, also some partnerships usually there, and yeah, any partnerships. But the most important thing, how does it get there? So basically, it starts by contacting us, the PRC, and it should be done as soon as possible, and also in contact with the service. And who to contact and how, of course, if you don't know anyone else, the leader is the one to contact, so either at leader.prc@estimate.org or directly on Google Chats if you know. Or we also have a team, so if you know who is the branding or department responsible for your department or central, then you should contact that person directly. And how is the campaign actually going? So we have a PR plan that outlines everything that will be shared, and then it will be designed, usually using Canva, and then finally shared on Instagram or LinkedIn. Thank you very much.
And I just want to emphasize one last sentence. As the sooner you approach us about your post, the better we can make it, and at the right time we can post. So please approach us as early as possible for any promotion you need.
Thank you. We have time for one, maybe two questions, if any. So please stand up in case. It seems you were very clear. So thank you very much for the presentation, Rob and Eetu. And with this, I close agenda point 44, promotion on Esteem social media, and I open agenda point 45, dashboards on the Esteem portal, and I would like Tom Lewis to join us on stage.
Hello, I'm quickly want to promote some updates and want to present what we have been worked on the past half year. And quickly about us, we are AC. I think some of you might already get to know us yesterday during the fair. For those of you who didn't, we are basically collecting data in Esteem from the portal, from different forums, and trying to get then insights for you, as you might be familiar with feedback reports. And this is possible through our partner Tableau. And of course, it's a professional software, so it's kind of limiting. They're supporting us very well, so we have a couple of accounts. And this is leading us to the current situation of having a cloud with accounts for LRs and leaders, which is amazing. But of course, as you can see here, this is how it looked for, I think, the last 3 to 4 years. You go on the line there, you find a lot of things, but it might be a bit complicated to go there. And I want to present you what we achieved in the last 2 or 1.5 years we worked on it, and we finally managed to do it. It's a much smoother process and the first stepping stone, which I'm very proud to present, to have finally dashboards also on the portal. So please, one big applause for our great team to making this possible. Yeah, what did change now? As I mentioned before, we had roughly accounts for LRs and leaders, so they can access it. And now everyone who is allowed to see it basically can, as you see here, access everything on the portal. You don't need the Tableau account, you just need to be registered as a member of NLG, which is automatically happening. And there's now the third, as you can see on the right, the feedback report. And you can access it as long as you're an organizer. So basically everyone who's allowed to see feedback reports or other stuff can just easily access this, and don't need to go anymore to the Tableau cloud to do it, but just go to the portal and take a look there. These are the first dashboards that we have there. This is the feedback report, usually shared through an email. And a reminder, it's not stopping. We still send out the emails after your events, but in case you are not waiting for it, you can also just access this on the portal and take a close look there, and you don't have to go through the history of your email account or something. You can just go there. And also we have this wonderful dashboard. It's before the event, something you can use there. I'm not going to explain into detail what this is about. We have a bigger post. I will share the QR code afterwards. There you can read thoroughly through everything, what you can see there, how it's useful. This is basically before the event to support you, make an informed decision about your participants. And yeah, this is the post we made. Very detailed information you can find there, what is exactly showing, what it is displaying, what is the data about, and we will also keep you updated since we are planning to put a lot more dashboards on the portal so you can get some nice insights. Maybe you have seen it a lot already yesterday, and yeah, we'll keep you updated there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tom. Also here we have time for a couple of questions, if any. Tom, you must have been very clear. Thank you very much. You can have a seat. And with this, I close agenda point 45, dashboards on the Steam portal. And I open agenda point 46, project reports, 71st council meeting niche. And I would like to ask to the stage Mateja Polimac.
Hello guys. Before we get into our topic, I have to say a massive thank you for the organizers for doing such a great job and for not only meeting my expectations, but definitely completely redefining them. So I would kindly ask you for a very big applause for them, for making this possible and for gathering us over here. Okay, so let's start with me telling you how it's going on. From the things that we've done so far, we were able to find the accommodation, the breakfast, the lunch. We were able to find a couple of the options for the GA room, and we also managed to book the gala dinner. So first, let's talk a little bit more about the accommodations. We currently have 4 different hotels or 5 different locations, which I'm going to explain a little bit later. Altogether, we have approximately 260 places, we're expecting a little bit more. And 2 of the most distant hotels are only 15 minutes of walk from each other. So this is the first place. I know that here we have some people who've attended the Balkan Recon, which was in Niš a couple of years ago. And this is the exact accommodation that we used for that purpose. And honestly, this is something that you can expect from Niš. So pretty much we have like 40 places over here and 100 places in this second hotel. These 2 hotels are like 40 meters from each other, so they're basically pretty close. The next one is this hotel. If you remember correctly, I mentioned that we have 4 different hotels or 5 different places. I was speaking about this one. So the owner told me and showed me the accommodation, and the accommodation is on 2 different locations, 45 on one place and 45 on the second one. In addition, I would have to add and maybe even motivate some of the other people to apply for the board position. We know that being a board member requires some privacy. And we know that the board members usually have to be a little bit separated from the rest of the people. So the easiest solution for us was to book the villa. So the next board is going to be at the villa during the next TM. This is the last accommodation that we are talking about. When it comes to the food, it's pretty much going to be similar to over here, meaning that we are going to have breakfasts in hotel. We managed to get an agreement with the cantina, and we are still trying to work it a little bit because we are kind of trying to bring the lunch to you instead of taking you to the cantina, because we think that it's going to solve a couple of the logistic problems. The last thing that we haven't finished completely, but we have a verbal agreement, is the dinner, and that's pretty much it when it comes to the food. When it comes to the GA rooms, don't get scared. The third option is a military house. It's not exactly used in that purposes. It's mostly used for the conferences and for the congresses similar to this one. The first option that we already booked, we also booked the second option as well. The first option is a congress hall at the biggest hotel in Niš. Unfortunately, they were too expensive for us to get you all there, but we managed to book their congress hall. The second one is the amphitheater at our uni. And the third one, which would definitely logistically be the best option, is the military house, which I've mentioned. So this is currently our ideal, or the room that we can guarantee that we are going to be in. It has a maximum of 400 seats. The seats are movable, so we can design them in a way that fits us. It is definitely equipped with all the tools that are needed. Before getting into this topic, I have to ask you something, guys. Can all the people in whose home countries the celebrations consider having unlimited drinks? Can all those people raise their hands? So when you go to the celebration, like the homecoming or like to a birthday party, do you have unlimited drinks at the gala dinner? Okay, so it's a partially hands. I thought that it would be a little bit less hands, but my point is that we managed to get a gala dinner where everybody's going to have unlimited drinks, alcohol. Okay. Thank you, thank you. What? Time is up. Okay. Yes. Okay. So the work conclusion. Okay. I'm going to save us some time, and I know that one question is going to pop up. So can this count as me answering a question?
You can ask the question in the question time, and then you answer it yourself.
Fair enough. Okay. So in conclusion, the price is probably going to be 125. We're trying to get it a little bit lower if possible, and the dates are most likely going to be from 8th of November to the 14th of November. Yeah. You can get to any of this airport, and the price from any of the airports to Niš is exactly the same. It's in between 20 and 25 euros. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Now we have time for a couple of questions, and we would start with the one from Mateja.
Yes, okay, so I'm aware that some of you are aware with the current situation in Serbia. For those of you who aren't, there are ongoing protests, and they've been ongoing for the past 6 months. So I know that there are some concerns related to your safety, and from our perspective, and something that I can definitely say, is that the protests are clearly losing momentum. The people have been protesting for the past 6 months, and it got kind of exhausting. The fewer and the fewer people are joining the movement, and the more of them are leaving it. Currently, we're expecting that all of the students in Serbia are going to lose this academical year, since we haven't been attending nor the lectures nor the exams. It wasn't possible, and it's totally unrealistic to expect that our government is going to allow us to lose more than 1 academic year. In addition to that, we are very optimistic that the protests are going to end before the November, but if that's not the case, the best way to guarantee that everyone's safety is just for nobody, is the...
Can you shorten up?
Yes, okay, so nobody should go to the protest if they want to feel safe, if they're still ongoing at that moment.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Now we have a question there from the back.
Mattia, first, Ale.
Okay.
We have a clarification here.
Yeah, to those that aren't acquainted with the
Sorry,
situation.
name and local group for the
yes.
secretaries.
Niš, name is Nemanja. About the protest, they are peaceful and student-led. Do not worry, they aren't throwing Molotovs in the street or whatever may come to mind. Those are peaceful protests led by the students. And they have been peaceful so far, they will be peaceful so far, because that is one of the main concerns. We are pushing for elections. That is the probable end of the protest. When a fair election is held, that will be soon. Do not worry about the situation. It is very safe, even during the biggest protests. So you have nothing to worry, especially in a few months' time.
Thank you very much. We have then the only question from the back.
Ale, LG Sevilla. And first of all, congratulations. I think we are here a lot of people that know the work behind a CM, so really congratulations. I want to know what's the support that LG Niche is having from the university itself?
Okay, so that is, I'm not sure that how many of you are going to believe, but for the past, I think 3 or 4 CMs, we managed to bring 20 of our members. Our university paid for all of us. Today, on DCM and on all the previous council meetings. And from what we know, and we talked a lot about with our dean and with everybody else from the faculty, we know that they're going to support us as much as we need it.
Thank you very much. That was the last question for this point. Thank you very much, Matija. You can take your seat. With that, I close agenda point 46, project report, 71st Council meeting Niš. Thank you for the update, and now we would have Emanuele with an important announcement for us. Please join us on stage.
Yeah. Hello everyone again. It is my big honor and pleasure to introduce you the main reason why we are all here today. You got to know in these days, some people from our university. As we already told you in the open ceremony, we had a great opportunity from our university. So it's my pleasure and honor to introduce you Dr. Giampiero Barbuto, who is the international office head of this university, and is here just to meet you. He really take care of all of us, and is the main reason why we are here today. So thank you, and please welcome.
Ah, my God. Sun is coming back. This is for you, okay? This is Calabria. We have clouds, but in a while, coming back the sun. So it's an incredible pleasure to me to have this wonderful audience. Usually we have all those guys. So boring for us. Seeing all these guys, European one, this is the real hope for Europe. Europe is in a strange situation now. We have, Emanuele told me, informing you that I'm the head of International Relations Divisions, but the most important thing, because I'm here, because I'm also responsible of the administration of the UPeace project. UPeace means European peace, Europe peace. And this is what we aim. And you are the human capital, European human capital. And it's not a joke. It's wonderful to stay at 20, 22 years old together. Also, myself. But as the Beatles say, because I'm a Beatles fan, I'm a musician, he said, we can work it out, So we are here because we can work it out for what? For realizing peace in Europe. Otherwise, we are wasting time because youngness going so fast. They say, the Beatles say, life is very short. It's for me, not for you, because I'm 60. Yeah, you may understand it's very short to me. But anyway, they say life is very short, and it's a crime for fussing or fighting each other. It's a crime. It's a stupid idea. Please, Work for peace. Stay together at 22, 23, 24, I don't know your age, but you're very young. But also the same when you will be 50. When you will become, and I wish to all of you to become manager, governors, what you want. But at that time, don't forget that you were here for speaking, talking, staying together in peace, in love, staying together, in harmony. This is the real hope for Europe. Otherwise, Europe is just paper. Trust in me. I work in this issue in the European project, blah, blah, millions, billions. But at the end, what remains? Papers. Papers. We have crazy guys now, governors, not only in Italy, I may say. Not only in Italy, also in US. But I don't want to say in everywhere. There are strange guys around the world. They don't want peace. They want just to reach money, money, money, money, and money. We don't need money. Okay? Because money disappear in a while. Trust in me. You need love. You have friendship that you are. So, my only, not suggestion, just inviting you to believe in peace. Really believe in peace. It's not easy. I just heard, and I'm very happy that Serbia arranged everything. Because probably you don't know anything about what happened in that places. In 1995, so I was 30 years old, and I remember everything. I was in Bosnia. I was in Split in 1994, while there was some problems that probably you don't know. But when you saw that situation in Croatia too, in Montenegro too, now thanks to God, all these places are quite in peace, not everywhere, but just you may go there and appreciating the beauty of that places. And so this is my invitation. Please don't be bored don't forget that you are in the earth for promoting health, friendship, love, and peace. All the rest will be wasting time. Okay? This is my personal idea about life, and I'm working till 35 years. So I have some knowledge. I travel all around the world. Okay? But the only thing that we may do is staying together for growing together and let our nation grow and the future generation. Okay? I don't want to, I'm not Gandhi, I'm not, just a simple guy, but this is what I want to say to you, because we are working for this project. You are here thanks to this project and the incredible work of STM that I appreciate a lot. And as soon as they invited me to this meeting immediately, I said yes, because you are a great student association, and I trust a lot. And so this is the wonderful contamination, UPs and STM for the same reason. So for the rest, if someone of you would like to spend a semester here, now I'm working, okay? It's possible, you may. Just, I don't know if through STM, through them. We accept all the students from all over the world. Here, today, we have 1,500 students coming from 90 different countries, living together here, from Africa, South America, East of Asia, Vietnam, Cambodia in Italian, and everywhere. And stay together. And for me, it's fantastic. What I want to say, I don't know if I see someone different colors than me. Remember, the colors of our skin, it's just a question of exposition to the sun, nothing else. We have the same heart, we have the same mind, the same brain, I hope. But here it's possible to understand this one in this campus. We have an international campus, because everywhere I go, it's difficult to find people different than white guys. Fantastic, But it's not, this is not reality. Reality of the world, we have 500 million of people of your age living in Africa. 500 million today, okay? In Europe, we are less than 300,000. So We will, 300 millions, but of inhabitants. So you may imagine, we have to contaminate each other, no integration. Integration, because if you come here, you have to eat pasta and nduja. They eat nduja, okay. Sausages, mushroom, the same thing. But it's our food. Probably if I go in your country, you will have other. Okay, contamination, okay, of people, of foods, of cultures. Please, take out of you all the idea that the people are different. We are quite the same. Quite the same people. Because diversity is the real richness. You know this one. But diversity is the richness of the humanity. And it's fantastic to me. If I met people like me, I was so bored because I don't support myself, you know. So people like me, no. It's wonderful to have people with different ideas, cultures, and everything, okay? So someone of you decided, may have the idea to come here and live in a semester. If there is someone, take care. I don't know if you explain better where we are. Probably you did. But in 13 minutes, 15 minutes from 5 minutes walking on the railway station, 30 minutes and you are on the seaside, okay? And I think it's difficult to find other place. 25 minutes and you go on the ski slopes in winter. I'm a skier, first, okay? So this is Calabria, a good university, a good campus, good people, because Emanuele and all the staff are fantastic. So what else? If you wish, we are here. Thank you so much, and sorry if I bore you in this afternoon. Usually in afternoon I'm very tired. Anyway, thank you so much for...
Thank you very much to Dr. Barbuto and UPs for making the event possible and for the speech. And now we move on to agenda point 47, applications of council meeting. Are there any news? I heard there were news to be had, but are there? Otherwise, we will leave the point open and move on, I suggest. Then I leave the agenda point open, and now we're moving forward. So we now have agenda point 48, application for times final. Are there any news regarding that? Yes, please do, in the meanwhile. Thank you. It seems there are no news, which means I also leave open agenda point 48, the application of times final, and I open agenda point 49, application projects. The first one is Steam Magazine, and I would like Vural to join us on stage. And I would like to remember before the start to every presenter that the time is in front of you, sitting here. We have the wizards of time that will show you how much time you have. Thank you.
Hello guys, today I'm going to present my magazine application to you. Sorry. Hello guys, today I'm going to present my magazine application to you. And before I start, I would like to express this is an honor for me. Here is our agenda. This is where I basically look like. I'm somewhere in my 20s. In case somebody flirts with me, I don't say the actual number. I'm practicing photography in my individual life. Can I?
No.
Sorry. I'm a proud member of local group Ankara Metro. I'm an entrepreneur. I found my own sandwich recipe. If you want, I can share it with you. And I'm from Cappadocia with all those fairy chimneys and volunteers. Yeah, that's what. I can solve the Rubik's Cube within a minute. You can try me. Here's my story. First of all, God created the earth, and then last year I attended council meeting Aveiro as a photographer. This was an incredible event in terms of improving central knowledge for me. And after that, I started to organize Cappadocia Activity Week. It was an event type that was tried to be made for 3 years, and we accomplished it. And in exchange for that, we were awarded with the best IDD event in the council meeting. Sorry. And right after the event, I got into the 2 teams that I've been planning to get into, which is PRC and the magazine team. I'm practicing the graphic design for both since the last October. And then in the end of the November, I attended Tour of the Nordics. Through the end of the year, I attended Mediterranean Regional Coordination meeting, which was really helpful and beneficial for me to shape my future careers. And in the March, I attended PRCom ITU, which was also a shaping event for me. Well, I decided to apply for this position in this event. And here I am right now presenting my application to you. Let's move on. Well, the most important point for your questions, I guess, why am I the best fit for the position? Well, I have 5 reasons for you. First of all, I'm a magazine enthusiast. Well, I've been collecting magazines since my childhood, and I have a collection of them, like over 500 magazines, and I read them all. Secondly, I'm passionate for work in an international team, and also conducting was also helpful. And thirdly, I'm motivated to learn anything. Basically, you can teach me anything in a good manner, and S-Team has the best manner to do this. Fourthly, I'm an old team member. I went through most of the positions that a team member can experience, so I know how the system works. Lastly, since I'm a photographer, I believe I'm a good observer, and I can see what can people get through, and I can shape myself for this. For this aim, I classified my approach into 4 main areas, and the first of it is the PR goals. Firstly, I will stay in touch more with alumni and the companies and increase the network, the distribution of the magazine. Secondly, I will use the social media's power to increase our visibility to be shown more. And thirdly, I will plan to collaborate with the podcast to create collaborative content. Secondly, my second approach is the content goals, which stands for interactive content and following the current trends. Interactive content basically stands for where the reader more interacts with the article. And thirdly, I'm planning to involve the reader more to the content decision, which we saw the benefits of it in the last issues. Thirdly, design goals, which is related to PRCom ITU. Firstly,
let's come to a conclusion slowly, because the time is almost up.
Sorry. We will try to maintain a teaching cycle where the experienced designer teach the newcomers. We will make people more knowledgeable about the softwares that we use to design a magazine. And we will create a best practice document for this to get newcomers get used to it. And lastly, administrative goals. I will try to increase the amount of the meetings that I will make with my team. So unfortunately, I'm going to be best friends for them. As you can see, I have lots of aimings to make them come true. And for that, to protect the efficiency, I plan to create a new role through a new recruitment called Quality Responsible. And lastly, I plan to co-organize a PRCom, and I have several plans for that. I am waiting for your questions after the event because during the question times, so I have no time left. And thank you for listening to me. You can approach me through any channel you want, and don't forget to visit Cappadocia in somewhere in your life.
Thank you, Vural, for your application. Please remain with us for a second. We may have time for 1 or 2 questions if there are any. Yep. Here on the front, the delegate. And then, yeah, we take only those 2. Then on the left, we start from the front and then from the back.
Jelena Lakic, LG Novi Sad. I have a question about the PR part. Yesterday we heard that we didn't have much sales and not much readers for the magazine. So I'm asking, do you have any specific plans for promotion of the magazine?
Do you have a specific goal in here that you try to refer?
Using social media's power, like, do you have any specific things that you plan on doing?
Not specifically, but as we saw the benefits of them, I will try to increase the meetings with the related leaders like PRC, the old leaders, maybe an advisory board for that. How can we improve our visibility through the social media channels? I see like so many influencers on social medias, as you can see, although. So I will try to increase my effort, basically, not as specific.
Sorry, can you?
Is it working now? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Turkiye Elif Kuntbilek from LG Istanbul ITU. So my question is regarding collaboration on public relations coordination meeting. This year a joint event with peer entities was organized and you were one of the participants. You also have a goal on that for the future. So how would you improve on that event and what additional steps will you take for collaboration in the future?
Regarding co-organizing a PRCom, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I have discussed this situation with a few leaders and with Adrian also. Actually, I will try to invite a finance-related leader to solve the money issues for that. Basically, I want to know my limitations. If I design a 30 pages magazine, would it be the limit, or can I increase my count to 60 or something? Well, the printing stuff are afforded by the board. So to discuss this at the moment of the PRCom, I will try to invite a finance-related leader.
Thank you. Now we have the last question. Please, short question and short answer.
Hazar Soyer, İstanbul Boğaziçi. Good luck with your application. My question is, what could have been implemented to avoid typos and errors in private names of entities? And
yeah, you're right. I was expecting this question actually. Well, that's why I tried to protect the efficiency. I've been planning to create a new role, quality responsible, which is like proofreading, that disposition requirements, proofreadings, maintaining the schedule, whether it's on time or not, or checking the schedule basically, or holding the minutes during the meetings. Well, this position is for that, but regarding your question, this requirement also can be assigned to this position. So,
Vural, can you close the answer, please?
Okay, sorry. So this requirement can be afforded by this role. Was it clear?
All right, and I suppose if there are other questions, please send them to Google Chat. Vural, please check the Google Chat in order to answer to them. Thank you very much for the application, Vural. You can take your seat back. Now we remain in agenda point 49, applications for projects, and I would like to ask to come to the stage Mira and Natalia for the STEAM podcast application.
Okay, hello everyone. So we are Mira and Natalia, and we have a pleasure to show you our application for a podcast. So let's begin with the agenda.
Yeah, as you can see, we're going to talk a little bit about us, our vision and goals, plan of action, and podcast formats and themes, so in general about content. When it comes to Mira, I have to say that she is a very diligent person. She attended and organized over 15 international STEAM events, which makes her qualified for this position. Also, she's local responsible of LG Belgrade. I think it's also important to mention that she worked as PR and marketing coordinator multiple times. And the most important thing is that she is an amazing person that loves to travel, loves to yap. If you already know her, then you know that, and that's actually a good virtue for a podcast. So yes.
Okay, and if you wonder like what is our connection here, we are obviously best friends, so we share the same vision for the podcast, and that's why we applied together. And just to clarify right now, Natalie is applying for the official leader, and I'm gonna be something like a support leader, so we can discuss that during a Q&A. And about Natalia, so she is also an amazing person and a very hardworking one. When it comes to her STEAM experience, she is currently a leader of international committee of LG Belgrade, and she was also organizing and attending many different international events, and usually we were doing that together. So also she has experience in PR and marketing, and she already had her first small business, and she ran a social media for it, and I'm so proud of her because of that. Besides that, she loves to write poetry, read books, and travel, but usually with me.
Comes to our goals, we want to mention that we want to revive old stories and create new ones, those kind of stories that are going to reach a bigger audience and increase the number of esteemers who will listen to a podcast. Also, we think that it's really important to balance fun and value. It's not only about exceeding academically and career-wise, it's also about having fun. And here, I feel like we're in our own bubble and playground. Also, we want to give the mic to esteemers. We want to say thank you for those who have built this community for us, but we also want to give platform for new voices. And lastly, we would like to go visual, because it's different when you see the faces of the people who are talking, because you can, connect experiences, and that's that about our goals.
Okay, and of course we have our plan of action, since our mandate will start like this Monday, I guess, if you are going to choose us. So we have to build our team, like a small team, like with motivated people to discuss about content, to discuss about guests, and everything else. But also we are here to listen to your voice, as she mentioned before, so we also want to hear from you. What would you like to listen? If there's any educational topic, or maybe just something that you heard from someone else and you would like to share with the whole network. So podcast is not about us, it's all about esteem, it's all about you and everything that you have done for this network, and also everything that you would like to propose. Besides that, we also want to make you actually watch it, because I'm not sure if you ever watched any podcast before. So we will do our best to create something that is interesting and something that is also useful for each of you sitting right here. And besides that, to say something about format and topics. So yeah, of course, our main goal is to create something that is like a video podcast, not only the audio one, and also to make a perfect balance between fun and education, because we are all here because of, I don't know, I am and everything, but I think that the main part of esteem is the playground that we are always talking about and esteem spirit. And besides that, we would like to make some live podcasts. So it means that if we are going to attend more events, which I really believe that we will do that, then we will gonna make some live podcasts. So we are still discussing about the format and everything, but also we would like to hear from our little team and to see if they have any additional ideas. So thank you so much for listening to us, and here is everything you need if you want to contact us. Thank you.
Thank you very much also for making happy our wizards of time, because you were perfect on time with the presentation. Now we have time for a couple of questions if there are any. There is one in the back. Adrian first. Yes.
Thank you. Adrian Bösel, LG Munich. Thank you for your application. Wonderful to see that. Really excited about the live format. Something else that I wanted to ask now is, it seems like you want to focus the podcast really only on esteemers and not on a professional IEM world or network outside of Esteem. Is that true, or did I just get that impression wrongly?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for your question. And yeah, it's not only about this team. We also want to focus on alumni network and our partners and other students organizations that we are cooperating with and everything else that comes to your mind. So basically, since we have a plan to make like 2 episodes per month, we will see like what's the optimal plan to do that. But yeah, it's not gonna be only about our members, but also externals. But thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we take first a question from the back, and then as the last one, the question here from the delegate. Sorry, I'm prioritizing who haven't spoken much. First the one in the back, then the delegate, then we have to move on.
Congrats on your, Emir Mutlu from LG İstanbul Yıldız. Congrats on your application, firstly. So podcast can be led easily by one leader, and financially one more leaders means like one extra leadership expenses and so on. So like I was wondering why you guys are 2 people per podcast.
Okay, thank you so much. I tried to clarify that in the beginning, so I'm not gonna be the official leader. So also the second question that you have is not gonna be like that. I'm not sure still about all the fees that you mentioned, but I think that it's not gonna be like that. But yeah, why we apply together? Because usually we are doing things together when it comes to creating moments, and we are inspiring each other all the time. So I just wanted to help her during this journey to get more ideas, to help her to, I don't know, to deal with the team and everything else. So the main point was to build something together with the same vision, with the same passion. And that's the main reason. But if you like have any following question, then okay, thank you.
Yeah, I would also like to add that we talked to many people, and they said that it's going to be interesting to have 2 hostess instead of 1, because the podcast then can be more dynamic, and if it's more dynamic, people like it more, and we're gonna then reach bigger audience. Thank you for your question.
Thank you very much. We take the very last question here on the
Hello,
right.
Ulgas from İstanbul Yıldız. Thank you for your application. I just wanted to ask you that...
Sorry, name and local group?
Ulgas from İstanbul Yıldız. I just want to ask you that you wanted to add an extra video broadcast part. I remember that in the last mandate, the boards did a podcast, and I'm pretty sure it was not offline. So how are you planning to video chat that, like in Zoom call? Are you planning to broadcast a Zoom call or in an offline situation? And how is it going to work out?
So if I understood the question right, you're asking if it's gonna be like live or offline or
No, you
about the
mentioned
format.
not just you were going to not just broadcast voices, also broadcast videos, right?
Yes.
Yes, and how is that going to work out?
Okay, we still discuss about that part because it depends on the platform. It can be like the simplest one, like at YouTube, but maybe we can figure out something that is much better. So that part is still like onboarding because we have to see how we're gonna edit that, how we're gonna upload it. But I'm pretty much sure that it's gonna be for like offline watching, so you don't have to watch it at a specific moment. Like we will just upload it, and you are free to watch whenever you want. So. I hope that I answered the question.
Yeah, you did.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Before sending them back to their place, I would like to say there was Rodrigo and also a delegate here wanted to ask a question, so if you can approach them in person or write to Google Chats in case you have something to add. Thank you very much for the application, Mira and Nata. And with that, we close agenda point 49, applications project. And I open agenda point 50, voting session number 2. And I call to the stage our voting committee.
Hello guys, again we will present how to vote in Esteem. Voting will be done via, again, election body. Each voting delegate will receive an email with the invitation for voting. Voting starts at 4:45 and ends at 9:30. Here's an example of the template. Example of the email that will be in your inbox. Just follow the link from your email or use the code below. If you can't see the invitation mail in your inbox, check your spam folder. Just click on the option. Disinterest in the issue can be shown by choosing abstain.
So once again, guys, this ballot does not seem to be correct, so no. And this one is pretty good. So Adrian is happy. If you want to see him like that, please vote correctly. And you know, you did once, verify and submit your voting. The important things, again, you need to choose only one option for each question, otherwise you won't be able to submit your choice. And if you want to stay abstain, we won't do it wrong once again, don't worry, choose abstain. And then you successfully voted. Okay, once again, the voting should be finished until 9:30. Tonight is International Night. You can get caught up in the fun. Before doing that, you should vote, please. And after that time, election body will not be available. And after submitting the ballot, you won't be able to change it. Oh, So, never mind. You can see them. We're not gonna read them and bother you, but you know them. So, take your time. Should I go? Yep. Okay. And yeah. And finally, for the motion, we are gonna vote. And yeah, if you have any questions regarding the voting procedure, please contact. Let's vote.
Thank you very much. We have now time for a couple of questions. We have a technical from Paul.
Hello, Paul Katsiopis, LG Aachen. I know we talked about the regional distribution stuff already a lot, but there are still a few questions in Google Chat actually under the point 36, like where it was first allocated. So it would be nice if those would be answered, and maybe if the council also read through them before voting. So yeah.
Thank you very much, Paul. We also have something from our board.
So I just want to say that, as you've seen, there is 32 voting proposal. So 32 means that even you did not even look at them and just click on yes, it will take you at least 10 minutes to fill everything. So please try to not do this last minute, because it takes a lot of time, and at 9:30 it will be closed and you will have no possibilities of, like extending. So please try to do this as soon as possible, even starting during the break.
Thank you very much. Any other question? We have time for one more. Congrats, voting committee, very clear. Thank you very much.
And also, the voting, as you can see, it's 4:47. We're a bit late, so it will start at 5.
Okay, thank you. With that, we close. No, we leave it open. The agenda point for the voting. And in the meanwhile, we open agenda point 51, miscellaneous. We have a couple of announcements from the board, and then if the organizer have some, please add them. Yes.
I would quickly start. If the HCPs for tonight could quickly come down to the front, so Jonathan, Maria, and Milutin. And yeah, that you all see them and know who to approach. And if the three of you could quickly stay on the front so I can take a picture, would be nice. Just take a seat here and then. Thank you.
Okay. Also, I want to remind you that now you're responsible for your voting sheet, so please bring them with you and bring them back as well tomorrow morning. If you do not have your sheet tomorrow morning, it's a punishment for your whole local group. And it is very important.
Thank you very much. Any other announcement from the board? Yes, one from Rob.
Two super quick ones. If you want more physical magazines, talk to me or Miscellaneous. It will be online quite soon as well. Also, please can the delegates of Paderborn came here really quick. I just have a little thing.
Okay, thank you. That seems to be it from the board side. And we have something from the organizer. Emanuele, join us. Oh, sorry. Just a moment, Manu. There is a clarification. Can you give me a microphone? Thank you.
I'm John Nikolaidis from LXX. From LXX. Do we have to return?
Can you close? Can you talk closer to the microphone?
Yeah. Do we have to return these magazines? Or no? Okay. It was not clear to me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Organizers.
Yeah, hello everyone. Maria, our local responsible, just sent in the WhatsApp group the distribution of the training session. So just follow that guidelines, and to reach all the rooms, just follow our members. They will be held numbers of the group. So follow the group that we already sent in the WhatsApp group. Then regarding dinner, it will be from 8 to 9 p.m. The same place as yesterday. They will be serving pizza, and an international night will be starting in the same place. You will be there. You will find all your things on the first floor. So we'll be starting in the first floor, and then we will move back to the ground floor for the party. Yeah, there is a technical.
Yeah, we have a technical in the back. Please pass him the microphone. Thank you.
Yes, Sigurd Algitron, I'm sorry for interrupting a bit. I just wanted to make sure that nobody left the room before I said this. The timings for the working group session start, it's very important. Some sessions, 2 of them specifically, are at different times than the rest, right? Could you clarify everything there? What time are the participants supposed to gather to go to these groups? Could you please clarify?
They can actually start and go, because they're a little bit far away from this room, so they can actually start. The reason why they are starting a little bit later than other ones, that is just that we get the authorization to using that specific rooms from 6 to 7:30 p.m. So just that rooms, and but you can follow just the guidelines in the WhatsApp group for this situation, or ask Maria.
Okay, so we are gathering to go right now, even though it's actually starting in 1 hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
yeah, technical. Question, Chris, as well.
Alex Savesovic, LG Belgrade. Regarding the international night, will water be provided?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
we have a question from Chris.
Chris Figas, local group Gdańsk. Since today there was the day with the training sessions, I guess that some of the trainers are having also laptops with them. Is there like a possibility to have a space to like leave them for the international night?
Yeah, there will be a safe place. I mean, the international night will be only for participants of the event. So it will be closed for just everyone here. So it will be a place, a room at the bottom of this first floor in the place of the dinner and the international night. So you can just leave them all the bags. And regarding also Alexa, there will be water, and of course, we just hope that everyone is going to be responsible. We already presented the safety content person, so just be responsible for international night, because everyone wanna get fun, and it's fair. I mean, it's right, but just be responsible for this kind of night.
Thank you very much, and I have the feeling Vlad wants to share something with us from the back.
Yes, Vlad, local group Aveiro. I have a question to Alex, local group Belgrade. Alexa, will the rakia be provided in the international night?
It is a strong yes, from what I can tell. Thank you very much. Are there any other announcements from the board? No? From the organizers? No? Aha.
Okay, yeah, one from me. Now remember, tomorrow at the GA we have elections for the next generation of leaders and the next board of esteem. Because we will be going to Tropea at 2 o'clock, we need to start GA early. We know that the international night is tonight, so please, firstly, drink responsibly. There are other council meetings and other international nights. You can try other drinks at other events, but also please be tomorrow on time for the GA. And by on time, we mean exactly at 8:30 sharp. That's when we start. That's when the delegates need to be here for the quorum. If you miss the quorum, you lose your voting rights for the day. Thank you.
We have a technical in the back first, and then one from Paul if it's not the same.
Emir Mutelci, İstanbul Yıldız. Like being on time just doesn't depend us recently, because the boss kept being late, not just today. Also in the previous days we were late due to the same logistical issue. So we want organizers to maybe stabilize this so we can also be here on time.
I would say it is important to note we waited for the bus before doing the quorum also today, and we can suggest the organizer to contact who's dealing with the buses to make sure that they come on time. Paul, was this the same? No. So technical from Paul.
Yes, Paul Katsioupis, LG Aachen. Maybe I'm stupid, but
is it a question?
Yes, I count 14 sessions in the booklet, but there are only rooms for 12 of the sessions, and I can't find my own session.
Okay, yeah, can you take the microphone up here?
Hello. Maria is modifying the messages, so you will see the other two rooms, don't worry. And the announcement is this following. We are your, how can I say? We are the people who will lead you to your room, to the working group, okay? So we will have the number, okay? We have 6 number. Maria has the number 5, so she's missing right now because she's written the message. When you have finished your coffee break, you will find us out of this GA room, follow the number, and then when you will arrive, you will have your session. Clear?
All right.
Thank you.
Seems to me everything is in order and there are no more announcements. So I would like to say the GA for today is done. Now you will have a coffee break until 5:30, and then you have the training sessions. See you there.
Jonathan, Maria.